Hello, and welcome to this review of the Duke's Den historical romance book series by Christy Carlyle. I'm Olivia, your favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot. You're watching Random Olive Reads. First up is A Duke Changes Everything. Second son of a duke, Nick was treated cruelly by his father, and his father believed him to be the result of his mother's indiscretion, except for the fact that this man looks exactly like his father. After making his way alone and being a co-owner of a gambling den, he is suddenly the Duke after his brother's death. His only goal is to clear out the estate and rent it out to a tenant and never visit again. He finds an adversary in Mina, the estate steward, who wants him to take his duties seriously and restore the estate and help out the tenants. She's lived there all her life, learning everything from her father, the former steward, and she's reluctant to leave for any reason. It was fun seeing these two argue over what to do with the estate and then slowly come to an accord. This was definitely a fun romance to read, with Nick being impressed by Mina's competence rather than put off that she's a woman in a man's role. Anything But a Duke is book 2 of the series. Diana is an inventor who needs financial investment in her cleaning device so that she can support herself and her family and not need to subject herself to the marriage mart. Aiden is one of the investors at the Duke's Den, where Diana presents her invention for potential funding. Diana and Aiden end up making a separate sort of deal where Aiden will help find buyers for her machine in exchange for her finding him a noble woman to marry. He seeks entrance into polite society and thinks that a wife will be the ideal route. We get to see Diana playing matchmaker and Aiden's fumbling attempts at meeting her friends, when really they're just attracted to each other. Each of these people really needs to expand their current goals to include love and companionship if they're going to make this thing work. I loved seeing how supportive Aiden was of Diana's work and her intellect. Nothing Compares to the Duke is book 3 of the series. We start with a prologue showcasing our idyllic childhood friends and neighbors, Bella and Reese, at her birthday party. The party ends in heartbreak for Bella, though, and these two friends part ways for the foreseeable future. 5 years later, Reese has cultivated a scandalous reputation for throwing debauched parties and frivolities, but that sort of life has grown a bit wearisome, especially as he has recently inherited his father's indebted dukedom. When he returns to his country estate, he realizes his ledgers are a mess and his steward has gone missing, so he goes to ask his clever neighbor and former friend Bella for help. He's definitely got some apologizing to do, though, and she's reluctant to reconnect with him. Clearly, her childhood crush on him was unrealized, and she's protecting herself from suffering heartbreak again. Except this time, her parents are throwing atrocious suitors at her and pressuring her to marry, so she somehow gets Reese to agree to a fake engagement in exchange for her help with his estate. I liked seeing these two reconnect and Reese realize what he's been missing for all these years. This series is tied together by the three guy friends who co own a gambling club: Nick, Aiden, and Reese. The series moves in chronological order, but the stories are fairly independent and can be read as standalone. I loved all of these books. The ladies of all the stories were strong and independent and had their own skills and goals outside of building a relationship. The guys definitely fell first and harder and had a fair bit of convincing to do to keep their partners in their lives. Overall, this was an excellent series and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found a book or 3 to add to your TBR. Links to all of these books are in the description box. Like and subscribe to get updates, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.